Hello and welcome. It's SVPod. Red's here. Stanford Steve joins us from Nashville. How are you, buddy?
Who are you? Who are you?
Well, Halloween's coming, and next Saturday we will have missed it. Halloween will have come and gone. So I have shared with our listeners and viewers my affinity for our local hardware store, Stroh-Snyder. Out to dinner not long ago with some friends because I'm super social. I do that a lot. Not that much. Realized that Alex and I share the similar affinity, middle-aged guys that just wander around the hardware store. So he came and dropped off this kit, this handsome Stroh-Snyder kit, adorned with my name, and it says manager of lighting and pet supply. Stroh-Snyder right here, got the cap.
You got a hat on.
I do. Now, the cap was a gift. This was given to me by the folks at Stroh-Snyder to thank me for my patronage, which I will admit I had just chucked in a little storage spot in the garage, never to be worn. But
always need storage in the garage because of that.
Just in case you get a hardware store hat. Then I got this, what is this called? It's not a dolly. What's it called?
A vest?
Well, it's a vest, but it has another name. Whatever it is, I'm wearing it. Happy Halloween. You youngsters, everything is slutty this. So I'm just middle-aged peepaw. It's down there in 8 by the fertilizer. You need some 10-penny nails? They're free. Take them. I don't have as many as you want.
You got a discount? 20%.
You buy 20, 10-penny, and you know what I'll do? I'll throw in some washers.
Back door. Go to the back door.
Meet Bobby in the back. He's got the washers. You get a little bag full of nails. All right, we're off to a big start here. It's SVPod.
Oh, my Lord.
Just take a good look. Let it wash over you, Steve. I'm not going to wear this for long. I just want to happy Halloween.
I don't even know who I'm talking to.
Scott from Stroh-Snyder. By the way, I could tell you where a lot of stuff is. You need the hot meats for the birds. Got the pepper on there. Squirrels don't like it, but the birds do. We got the 5-pound. You should buy the 20-pound. Now it's going to set you back like $100. But again, it's a bulk. It's a gross of the sunflower seeds.
But you know what I miss right now, knowing that you work there? That initial scent when I walk into Stroh-Snyder's. What a great smell. Stroh-Snyder's hardware has.
Catnip for middle-aged men. The dudes in their 20s that I used to be you're like, what the fuck happened to you, buddy? Hey, man, settle in and enjoy because it's coming. And you don't even know it's happening. And then you think to yourself, you know what? I need some duct tape to go with the 73 other rolls we got. Yeah, but I'm going to.
Yeah, just can't find it.
Yep.
I'm going to Stroh-Snyder's.
You know what I need? I need one of them. I need one of them box cutters. We have 12. Yeah, but I can't find any. And we get 700 Amazon deliveries a week. So you go to Stroh-Snyder's, you get your fresh blade, slicing them up. You feel like a real man out there in the garage doing your part.
There you go. Yeah.
Right now, the folks watching and listening are thinking, are we going to get to the ball? Yeah, we are.
Where do you not get to the ball?
Right there side by side with the scent inside your local hardware store, Emporium, is this day of ball. And let's just start with what Elko's guys just did down in BR. Because you and I, Russillo, many others, but certainly that trio of guys that go back to our time on the show together, our affinity for that place at night in particular, everyone sings about it, but it's at the top of our list. As we've described, there are many places that are great. That place, when it's right, has no peer in our estimation. Am I saying this correctly?
Correct.
A&M went in there and did the unthinkable. They took over that stadium. In the fourth quarter, when the fourth quarter starts and they're on the 1-yard line after they have a 21-0 third quarter, and they're singing the war hymn, and it's all those folks, Gig 'em Aggies, doing their thing. I've never seen that like that ever. And all I can say, and I'll let you kind of cover the nuts and bolts of it because you've been on this Elko train early. But tonight, against a flawed LSU team who's not as good as we thought, who's banged up on the O-line and just isn't great, I don't care. I don't care that they're not vintage. I don't care. You go into that joint and do that, and the second half trailing against a desperate team that has to have it, and you hang, let them hang and drag them on that field like that for the 30 minutes that equal the second part of the 60, you got nothing but my respect.
Yeah, totally impressive. I saw it like that last year when Milroe went in there with Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. It was empty. Fourth quarter, empty. As good as it was, again, same thing. Rain, game day was there. DeBoer's plan was awesome, and they ghosted the joint, the home people. And I had that feeling in the back of my head all week going up to this game because you mentioned it. And we've talked about LSU every single week. I haven't understood the premise of the offense, especially with the lack of ability on the offensive line.
It's bad.
But with all that, they're winning at halftime.
18-14.
And A&M goes into the locker room. I can't imagine how many times Elko's gone in there. He's been an assistant at A&M. Fowler and Herbstreit did the history of the last time that A&M went in there and won. And you talk about a plan and a mindset coming out of a locker room. Like, it was like Concepcion runs the pump back. It's done. Like that. It's over.
And Reed, we've raved about him. I still think, and right before halftime, before that second pick, I'm thinking in my brain, why hadn't he talked about more for Heisman?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we throw his name in there while we're at it? And then there's some picks, and you're like, okay.
Tip balls, yeah.
Exactly. One was slightly deflected. The other is a full-on tip. But shakes that off, as does the entire team. I can only imagine the nuts and bolts of Elko's message to his group are, we're better than them, and we have 30 minutes to show it and show everybody who we are, and that's exactly what they did. Kicking it to Concepcion, right? Was that in the punt game?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I feel like he makes the hardest catches look like video games. It's stupid how good his hands are. But
yeah.
LSU's flawed, but they were dangerous at home at night because they had to have it. Nothing more dangerous than the wounded animal.
Mm.
Well, I don't know if they're dead, but there's a carcass on the side of the road in BR because the Aggies stomped them out and kicked them to the side, man. I get what you're saying about Bama, and it's easy to forget. But Bama and them have a rivalry that I think is way different than A&M and LSU. When I think of A&M and LSU, I think about the most ridiculous games ever played, like 19 overtimes and all the rest of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They've had plenty of history, but the Bama-LSU history is on a different level. That's more Ali Frazier, in my estimation. But for Elko to come in post-Jimbo and to pull the 180 the way they have, man, they could win it all.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And to me, I yesterday on College Football Live, we talked about this game, and I said, to me, it's about A&M's defense because I know what Marcel Reed is. I saw what they did in the portal and getting Concepcion and Craver, who are awesome. They have plenty. Like, they lost their best running back in Moss, and they come in with Owens, and then 22 or 23s running down the sideline, looking like he's going to run a 4.2 40. So to me, it was about the defense because they went to Notre Dame, got a win. They gave up 40 or 41. Then the next road game was last
40.
week at Arkansas, 42. So now you're going to LSU. You know Nussmeier likes to chuck it, and then you have a bye, and then they go on the road, I believe, to Missouri.
That is next. Where they go. They go.
So it was like a 5-week stretch where they're not going to play a home game, or not. Yeah, they're not going to play a home game until November 15th. And we've talked about the Arkansas scene, and they went there and just got it done. Arkansas walked in the back door. Fine. Happy for those that had Arkansas.
Yeah.
And then you had this one with all the demons, with everything. It was 12 since 2010. LSU was 12-2 ATS against A&M. Like, that's a demon. And Elko just walks in with his glasses and his hat and his hoodie and
grind
says,
on his shirt.
I've loved the dude forever.
Yeah,
and,
you have.
He had his guys dialed in tonight in a tough spot, because you mentioned you're thinking about Reed and what he's done. He went right down the field 2 times to start the game, and then all of a sudden two tip balls.
Right, which is why I'm saying
he doesn't blink. He doesn't blink.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's what's awesome.
And before those 2 picks, I'm thinking, why don't we talk about him more? And then that happens. How do you respond? Like that, 35 straight to start second half. And there was a lot that was involved in that, obviously. But it just speaks to the totality of a team that is all 3 phases, literally all 3 phases, that were demonstrably better than an LSU team on its home field backed up against the wall that had to have it. They got folded, man. Folded.
Yeah. And it was cool being with Ty and Jake, Herbie's sons, who went to middle school with Marcel Reed. And we got to hang out all weekend. And they were going to the game with Herbie. And they're like, I can't wait to see him. And then they showed like his high school highlights. Dude got some game. Playing some hoop too, but it was really that. Cool. Like kind of like a Nashville kid,
kind of like a state champion in hoops, like my guy Stanford Steve. You didn't know that about my man. He was a dangerous 4 and down in the valley back in the day.
No, but it was cool. A lot of Nashville things to know. I learned here.
Go.
Saw after an unfortunate loss last night. Saw our coach Hasselbeck. Tough loss. Went down to number 1 Baylor in Chattanooga. Couldn't get it done. But he showed up the game day. He'll be on the show with you tomorrow night. But
I enjoy my time with him. Did you go see some live music, Steve? Other than what we saw on the show today, Kenny and Dirks entertaining the folks.
Those guys, unbelievable. There was live music where I went to eat. Does that count?
Fine. We all know you don't like. That's fine. You don't have to do what you do. Hey, can I interest you?
This place is absolute wreckage.
I bet it is.
They just don't like to go to sleep here.
It's fine.
That's a problem when you're doing a morning show. You got to get out of the mix.
That's fair. You know what they need? Some cleaning products. That's aisle 4. We have buckets. We got mops, squeegees. Come on.
You have a hat on.
I still have it on. I'm gonna leave it on for a little while. I feel good about it. I feel official.
Oh man.
I feel like
you know where everything is in that store.
I know what I need to know. I know where my go-tos, my bird seed. I know where that is. I don't know what the name is. It's something hot meats. It's just spice on
easy with. They gotta.
Yeah, you gotta pay. Hey.
Yeah.
How about send some product? I'm out here just handing it out for free. You're supposed to pay for that. Yeah. So Nashville's. But you know what? We'll get to them obviously, and. What a 2-week run for Vanderbilt, anchor down, doors, welcome LSU and Missouri as favorites both, win them both. They don't tear down the goalpost and chuck them in the river. There needs to be an expectation. Seems like there is.
And there was.
That's right.
There was.
Well, and they've earned that right.
There really was.
They've earned that right. It's about Pavia. I saw a Feldman's article about Barton Simmons and the idea that the arrogance of this guy to think he's a certain level that he really isn't, and then maybe actually he is, right? At some point, does that unfounded belief actually have substance that's rooted in truth? You know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting you mention that, because there is a lot. Like when I show up at Tuscaloosa for game day, his brothers are front row at game day. And I'm like, did you guys really camp out last night? And there was just maybe a, turn of the head. You're like, we're here. That's our guy. We're going to be here for our guy. So I do my pick today, and then we go to commercial break. Bargetzi's coming up. Place is mayhem. And I look out to them, and they're like pointing at me. Because I said before I made my pick, I'm like, if you're going to be a Heisman Trophy winner, you can't fumble inside the 10-yard line and throw a pick inside the 10-yard line.
Just saying.
But I don't expect that from you today because this is a different circumstance. You're a better player. You're at home. And then they're pointing back at me. So literally after the show, everybody's going their own ways. One of the Papia brothers got the flag. Yo, appreciate the pick. I appreciate the pick. Let's get a pick. I'm like, guys, you are running this town. And we start talking, and I'm like, where are you guys for game time? I said, well, I'm gonna be in there for kickoff. I was like, they don't let you guys on the field. Like, no. We got our own section. But it was awesome, man. They are it's belief, Scott. It really is, man. The whole thing from Pavia to Clark Lee, bringing this in for the university, the millions of dollars, just thrown around like they're 5s and 10s, and the basketball facility, unbelievable.
Well, yeah, no, they're pulling some big time. They're pulling some big time players in that space. Unfortunately, I know it because Maryland went head to head with them on a couple of guys, and they got both of them. Thing about those universities that once you add the athletic excellence to the academic excellence in Nashville, and Nashville's going to sell itself. Vanderbilt's always been a great school, and now all of a sudden Vanderbilt's top 10 game days there, and they're a legitimate playoff team. And in the same way that we've talked about this a lot, people for years, when Clemson had its top of the mountain run, they became a great institution and applications went through the roof. Alabama has enjoyed that for 20 years now, or 15 anyway, and Vanderbilt's going to have a whole different level. The problem is you're going to be attracting a bunch of knuckleheads like me that's going to, I'll go there. No, you won't. You need 4.0 and $1 million on your SAT or ACT. But they've always had dough, and now all of a sudden you're in a different space where you could spend your cash. And Pavia's a difference maker. But you know what's funny, Steve? They didn't win this game today because of him. No. They won because they were able to win an ugly slugfest where Missouri turns it over on downs, loses its quarterback, banks one off the upright, and then hits a home run on the very next play. So instead of 6-3 Missouri, it's 10-3 U. And I give Missouri all the credit in the world. Zollers, right? Zollers, the true freshman from Pennsylvania, I think he is. He comes in and does a more than admirable job, I'd say, thrown into the fire. Gave him a chance. It's a 10-10 game, and then you lose the ball at midfield. So, and then Vandy goes down and scores to win the game, and they survive a Hail Mary that comes up fractionally short. But what I'm saying is they've won games where they scored big numbers and their defense was, I don't know. Now you win a 17-10 game against a ranked SEC team. This is real life. This is Vanderbilt we're talking about. Imagine that.
I didn't know what I was getting into, Scott. Desmond and I stayed for the game, and we walk in, and they're like, yeah, you're going to go right down. You get dropped off. Just walk down that sidewalk. You'll be on the field. I'm like, what? And I literally have, because the walkthrough on Friday was at the indoor facility. So this is my first time walking in the stadium. And I've always watched Vanderbilt baseball. And whenever you see the third baseline, you see the football bleachers on the side. So literally I walk in, I'm like, really?
I'm like, tiny.
It's just one tier.
But as opposed to say Knox, right? As opposed to Knoxville or T-Town or San
Bryant Denny.
That's what I'm saying.
In Georgia last week, and I'm like, this is awesome because it's filled, and I'll give a lot of credit. Missouri travels. Missouri had 25% of the stadium. Now I don't know what the numbers are, but 25% of that stadium today was Missouri. I'm like, this is going to be absolutely awesome. And what I didn't realize is that it is literally as tight as when you watch and you've been to Norman or Oklahoma State. There's no room on the sidelines.
Right.
It is tight. Chris Budden was the sideline reporter, and she's like, look at this, huh? And literally, I'm like, here, just stand here, and I can see over you because the next thing is the wall. And then they redid the end zones and the whole thing, but it's set up, and I'm sitting there, and the officiating, I think, was a factor. There was some stuff both ways. I thought the fumble on the pick that could have got back to Vandy on Vandy's sideline where Clark Lee lost his mind. The tripping call on Mizzou early on. Everything. It was hectic, but it started pregame. With both teams were woofing pregame right at the 50-yard. I'm like, this is intense. And I kept looking around. I'm like, there's no upper decks here. Like it's single deck. Like these two teams want at it. And they played a crazy game last year in Columbia. And it was on from the get. You could tell there was no giving in. And you saw that with a bunch of fourth down calls. And then, field goal at halftime, and then it was on. You mentioned the run after the doink off the upright.
80-yard touchdown.
Unbelievable, the swing of events. And then to Zoller's point, he comes in. The Pribula thing was brutal to see. And Missouri battles back. It's a good football team. Man.
I agree.
I don't know how many teams. You could say what you want. It's not 80,000, but to be down 10-3 and your quarterback that's been the guy, and I don't want to talk finances, but I would imagine he's up in the upper tier of what you paid to get to, and he's got you to 6-1 this year. Showed me a lot about Mizzou and what Drink has as a football team, man. It's the major leagues here, and they battled. They just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, they had the ball 10-10 after they tied on a fourth down conversion, and you just have a bad exchange on like a little run or keep option, and a great play made by Vanderbilt's defense. And again, you win. Can you win more than one way? And they showed that they could.
Great point.
Great point. I think the best teams are versatile and figure out how to win other ways than the one way that might be their favorite way to win. So, or you could just win how Indiana wins. They don't play with their food, Steve. They don't play with their food. They scored a touchdown less than a minute in. They had more than 2-1 yards to UCLA. They had more than 2-1 first downs, but they had 50 more points. 50. They don't play anybody the rest of the way that they're not going to be significantly favored to beat. And I just want to mention
where do they go next week?
Snake Pit.
Watch out.
Snake Pit.
Watch out.
Whatever. We'll put 60 on the clock and see what happens.
Better than going there.
It is. Look, imagine talking about Vanderbilt and Indiana as being what they are, as sort of at the moment. I don't know what the odds say in terms of being favorites to make the playoff, but they both have to be considered far more likely than not to be in. And just the way Indiana does it, and Cignetti is, you see that Saban flavor. You understand how he'd have been part of his staff and would have made sense. Not a whole lot of yucking it up. I mean, they got 60 minutes to put it on tape, and buddy, they do. They, again, I'm just mentioning them now that there's more than one way to win, but if you just win by 50, I mean, hey, look, they went to Iowa City earlier this year and had to figure out a different kind of way to win, and they did when they had to. That's kind of what we're talking about here with Vandy, figuring out ways to win games, and that's very similar. Well, Vandy was at home, but Indiana on the road against a very capable Iowa team that's never an easy out, and who, by the way, hung like 41 today.
Yeah, in Minnesota today. Not good.
Minnesota's home road splits are astounding. They're a dangerous team in the Twin Cities, and they're a mess.
I needed to go to Stroh-Snyder's before the game today for you to tell me that.
By the way, right there, aisle 1, you could get some handsome dish towels next to the scented candles.
How do they always have the kids stuff right at checkout? So my kids are like,
so that my son can go, Dad, can I get this fucking race car? No. We got
in the Hershey bar that's this big.
We got it. We got a leaf blower, some scented candles, a garden hose, some cleaning products, some washers, 10-penny nails. I need some Hot Wheels cars and a Hershey bar the size of my leg. Thank you. That's aisle 7. Just wanted to mention IU. Just looking at their schedule, they got their big dub out in Eugene, and I mean, look, at Penn State, you're going to get a spirited effort from that squad, but It's
that's
still there. I'm just saying they're going to be significantly favored to win the rest of the way against the teams that they're playing against. And then last year, after they lost to Ohio State, the old Oaken bucket, I think Cignetti scored 70 on Purdue. They'll try to do the same today, or this year, I should say.
Couple things.
Mm-hmm.
Got the old Lions of East Texas A&M sent to me, and that's what I wore today. Bad Beats Hall of Fame nominee. Your nominee. The gas station in the end zone helps you.
Quick track.
But along with that,
yep,
who we got from our friend Mo in Vegas. Mo is of the line setters in the desert. And I texted him Friday morning, and I said, hey, Ohio State's on a bye. Indiana's got UCLA. Is there a thing you could dial up that if, Ohio State and Indiana played tomorrow, you could tell me what the line is? Immediate text back. I said, just tell me, they're playing, I think it's in Indianapolis this year. Big Ten title game, Ohio State, Indiana, cruise the rest of the way. What's the line? What do you got?
Ohio State. So in Indy for the Big Ten title game?
Yeah. Big Ten title game, neutral site, both undefeated.
Ohio State.
No injuries.
Ohio State by... Ohio State by 6.
7.
Somewhere 6, 7.
6, 7.
See what I did? Huh?
Look what you get when you work at Stroh-Snyder.
Find somebody that can be both. Middle-aged, peepaw vision, and knows what 6, 7 is. I don't know what it is. I just know that that's what you do.
Scott.
And you say 6, 7.
We both just did it at the same time.
With each other, 6, 7.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, but you're not wearing a Stroh-Snyder kit like me.
No, I'm not.
I just want to mention this while we're at it, since we're a little bit of Big Ten content. Shout out to our friends from Wisconsin who dented the scoreboard in the fourth. They got on the board against Oregon, scored a touchdown. Moore got injured for them. They knew once they had 7, they probably had enough. It was the second year in a row that they didn't have to be great to beat Wisconsin. Last year, they got lucky, frankly. They got a late pick to win in Madison.
Yeah.
But Madison finally on the board after, I thought, it's rainy. It's 14-0, actually 21-0. And I'm thinking, oh, God, they're going to get blanked again. But they scored. They scored. They got on the board.
Wasn't watching. I was obviously at the Vandy game.
Sure.
And, it was the Grateful Dead jerseys. I didn't know if, one of the clouds came out and everybody was just high.
Maybe.
I didn't, the line was 2? They went off at. I didn't know.
Well, Badgers were easy. The Badgers were easy plus the number. Their defense fights like hell. They tried.
Badgers were easy.
Well,
they've been shut out 2 weeks in a row.
But their defense fought like warrior poets. They
have a good D line.
It was nothing until the last minute. Oregon got on the board there to make it 7-0. Anyway, shout out to our friends from Madison. Do love the folks up there. Wando, go get a fishbowl. They got on the board. Prior to A&M going out and laying waste to our friends in Baton Rouge tonight, the win of the day, the team of the day, the most impressive, most important win of his career was Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin in Oklahoma. Name a game that meant more. They've been in this same space for a while. You're good. You're ranked. Okay. Show me something. They go to Norman. Weather's not great.
Horrible.
They play from ahead. Looks like maybe you're going to cruise, but then it's never easy. So you get, a one-play touchdown, a quick get back of the ball, and before you know it, it's 26-25, and Ole Miss, who's been better significantly, is behind. What do you got? 12-play, 75-yard touchdown to retake the lead. And then there's obviously, you're Cliff's noting this here. But I say, without question, it's the biggest win for Lane Kiffin as a head football coach. because it shows. We said the other day, Steve, potentially elimination E.
Oh, the percentages are crazy now with Ole Miss getting a win and Oklahoma getting a loss because of their remaining schedules,
which is outrageously difficult. But I saw you and your super dog had them. We didn't have shows this week. I got shamed into putting out a card. Wish I didn't. Went poorly. You and Sheehan both like, just put some pics out. I'm like, you know what? I'll write something down. I sent it out.
Video it. You got a phone?
I normally do, but I didn't want to.
I could have sent it to Jack. He would have edited it. He would have put
but in the past,
awesome.
I used to.
You would have had 11. You would have had 11, and you would have went.
Well,
7 and
North
4.
North Carolina would have been on there. Missouri would have been on there.
How Mississippi State?
Yeah, South Carolina, they'd have been on there.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
but anyway, 1 and 5 on what we gave out. I gave out Oklahoma. You gave out Ole Miss. You had belief.
Yes.
And they justified it. What was it you believed in? Was it the fact that you saw them last week battle Georgia? What was it?
That helped a ton because it felt different to me. And I kept saying, you do it, and we do it, and we talk about these games every day. You know, like, all right, hey, Ole Miss is going to Oklahoma. What do you got? And you're talking to somebody, and then you watch something, and you're talking to somebody else. And after being there last week, I'm like, it feels different than last year. Last year, they had NFL talent on defense. But this year, being there last week with Trinidad Chambliss, I'm like, he could get them out of any jam. And no one talks about the receivers. And the receivers are legit. And then I go back, and I'm watching Oklahoma last week. They're running the ball for 170, I think they did, against South Carolina. And Mateer looks better, and they changed the quick passing game. I'm like, this isn't effective as Georgia's offense. And then I'm going back, and I'm watching Oklahoma's defense. The best offenses they played. Okay, you ready? Michigan. Auburn.
Can't do it.
Texas.
Cannot do it.
South Carolina.
Very limited.
I'm like, Ole Miss's offense is better. It's in a different tier.
By miles.
Than all those offenses.
By miles.
And the key to me was just the start. And they go down. It's 3-3. It's pouring rain. And Chambliss falls a couple times. But when he needed to make throws, he got it. I forgot the term that GMAC used. It's a term, G-bot. Is it G-bot? Whatever it is. It's a play the offensive coordinator and the quarterback have where it's like, all right, get out of a jam. And they had it, and the quarterback draw was huge in that, where it got out of some circumstances in the first half, and they were the better team. I mean,
yes.
Oklahoma took the lead on a 80-yard touchdown. Lane went for it on a 4th down right before that. I didn't understand that. You were up 12. They were up 12 and down 2 in like a minute 30 of game time, and I'm like, if you get your act together here, you're still going to win the game.
And they did.
They win the fourth quarter, 9-0. And, I believe it's the first-ranked SEC team he's beaten on the road.
It is.
And you saw the angst of him. There's, still shots of people do online now of, like, scoring in the first quarter and then not getting the 4th down and getting a touchdown in the fourth quarter. And then, the post-game interview was a fiasco. But I do believe in this Ole Miss team. I think it's different, and Chambliss is the guy, because I keep thinking, and he ended up getting a field goal, and I'm like, Simmons might play in this game because he's better footed and he's a better thrower, and then he comes in and he overthrows the kid on the Tebow pass. But no, I all the credit to Ole Miss, man. That's a big time win, and you look at their schedule, there's a straight path.
Correct.
To Atlanta.
Correct.
Straight path. And they haven't had that for a while.
And it's the kind of thing, because Oklahoma is likely to incur some more losses, where the temptation later to dismiss what this win was might be something people will avail themselves of. I would say you should fight that, because, for instance, when the season started and LSU beat Clemson, LSU got a lot of run out of that. That was like a check they deposited in the bank and drew down against for a while because, hey, they went to Clemson and won. Well, now Clemson's 3-4, and the recognition that that wasn't a big win, you realize that you shouldn't have gotten credit for so much in your bank account, right? Well, Oklahoma's demonstrated they're a really good football team. Clemson hadn't beaten anybody that's notable. Oklahoma has. They're probably going to lose some games here, though, from here. What Ole Miss did today, especially, Steve, after they surrendered the lead, to answer with that kind of drive and then hang on. I had them as the team of the day and the win of the day until Elko and A&M went down and dominated and devastated and eviscerated LSU.
Yeah. I don't know if I said it, but this is a game Ole Miss always loses.
Always. You're winning. You lose the lead. Fourth quarter comes. What do you got? And they answered the bell a week after being in an absolutely insane Sanford Stadium in Athens, being there for that. It's the best I've heard that building ever in my life. And to be able to answer that in the rain, in the crap, in Norman, it was damn impressive, man. Thank you, because that's the thing that
they're a pain in the ass to play against.
But you could see it. They were a pain in the ass against Georgia. But as a wise man told me about that game, you don't need to stop them until you need to stop them. And when they needed to stop them, Georgia did. Well, the point you just make is a great one. It's back-to-back road wins in incredibly tough environments. And to have the gas in the tank, both physically and emotionally, after last week, to lose the lead in the second half and then fight back and win. Big, big, big balls.
Kahunas.
And all this Florida stuff circling, it ain't going to go away. I don't know. I mean, Lane's just so socially odd that it'll be how he chooses to handle it will be his way. But it won't go away.
This was a really good way to have to handle it, winning this game.
Well, sure, but but you made the point, and it's true. You're not going to be able to hire a coach that's in the playoff unless that coach is willing to abandon his post, which no coach would do. So, folks in Gainesville, if that's the guy you've got circled, it's going to be harder to pry him out of Oxford the longer they're in the playoff contention. There's a number of other significant SEC wins. I want to get to them in a minute because I want to mention a gigantic victory for a team that hasn't lost a game this year. Bear Bachmeier and BYU. This is a script that I made the point the other day, I think, about blackjack, right? If you give me 16 against the face, I'm just hitting it. I get that I'm probably getting a queen. All right. The card's telling me what to do. Well, you give me Iowa State at home and Jack Trice, a good football team, against an unbeaten BYU team that got a little fortunate to beat Arizona, who's not great. I'm laying them every time.
No doubt. Me too.
And if it's next Saturday, I'm laying them again. And this is not a slight to you, BYU. It has nothing to do with you. I think a good home team who's lost some games against a freshman, this is the hardest game he's had to play so far on the road, bar none. And it starts exactly the way you think.
Yep.
Touchdown in the first play the fight song. The clonies are going crazy. Then they got a 14-point lead right before the half, and that's when they go on a significant drive. Your man Parker Kingston in the back of the end zone. They get a touchdown, and so suddenly it's just a 7-point game. Even though for the bulk of the first half, it feels like Iowa State's got this. They got this largely not in hand, but they're controlling the game, correct? Then it's a field goal, and now all of a sudden it's 7-point, 3-point game, 4-point. The math, you can understand what I'm trying to say. Suddenly that 14-point lead's down to 4. Then before you know it, BYU leads. Fast forward 27-27. Iowa State nearly gets a pick deep in BYU territory. They're going to get the ball back on a punt, and BYU's punt team shoves the blocker, the protection guy.
Personal protectors.
Into the ball. Brilliant play. BYU gets the ball now. So instead of Iowa State with a relatively short field and momentum, it's BYU getting the ball back, and Parker Kingston scores for the second time on a blitz on a third down. That's a hell of a throw from a true freshman. Followed immediately by a pick six. And before you know it, this game that felt like Iowa State could figure out how to navigate those last 10 minutes and win is down 14 points. And BYU wins. They've not lost a game, and you circle a couple of huge ones down the road for them. I believe they go to Lubbock, and they go to historic Nippert, and a Cincinnati team that is super dangerous as well. But down 7-0 out of the gate, down 14 in the second quarter. I had seen this movie before, and it did not end with a 14-point win for BYU. Could not be more impressed with the freshmen and that whole BYU outfit. That wasn't the way I saw that playing out. All credit to them.
Yeah, 24 second-half points on the road in Jack Trice is big boy stuff. And I'll admit, I look at BYU because of the other wreckage that happens in the conference, if this makes sense, that I put them in there. But now I keep staring at the 0 they have in the loss column, and I'm like, hey, man, all credit to you.
Well,
that's some big stuff.
It's tempting when you see the 0 in the right-hand column. I need to know who'd you beat in the left-hand column, okay? And this is the most impressive win that they have by a lot. Utah is a better team, but you did it at home. So you go to their hostile environment, spot them 14, and win by 14? That's a lot, man. So that makes me look at him differently. I watched the Arizona game, had him, didn't get there. Take that out of the equation. Take that out of the equation. They're down 10 in the fourth, and I just didn't think they were very not that I didn't think they were very good, but I thought this is what I thought you were. You're a good football team. You're not great. You're not going to win this game. They did. Same deal today, but they're going to get 2 more chances on the road and against a TCU team that's very capable in Provo. You got to go to Lubbock. You got to go to historic Nippert. By the way, you can't just say Cincinnati. It must be historic Nippert. Yeah. Those are two good football teams. So the Big 12, and you talk about the wreckage, Steve. How about this transitive real quick? Houston at home gets smoked by Texas Tech. Arizona State at home beats Texas Tech. Houston, who got smoked by Texas Tech, goes to the same field that Arizona State beat Texas Tech and beats Arizona State tonight. So the transitive falls apart there. That's kind of the Big 12 in a nutshell.
Correct. And I don't want to lose thought of giving BYU credit because to your point, and this is what's messed up about this, right? We are old and we're looking at BYU last week off the comeback win at Arizona. They're a home dog to Utah. I'm going to take Utah in that game as a little favorite. All the time.
Of course. Same idea. Of course. You just
and now you're like, oh, I lost. Okay. Oh, wait. I only have to give 2.5. I don't think they have the wherewithal to go halfway across the conference and go to Ames, who's off a bye, who has a really good quarterback and a really good coach, and do it again. And they do it. And what that does, coming back at Arizona, beating your rival as an underdog at home, going on the road and winning as an underdog again. That's some strong stuff. And Satake deserves a ton of credit. I still believe that guy is so awesome, and he won't let us inside. He has every cliche there is possible.
Yeah, but
you could tell his team resonates with him by the way they play on the road. That's a big boy win. And I Like I obviously ranked them this week.
Rank them, Steve. Rank them.
They're ranked.
Rank them.
They're 11 in the AP, and I'm not doing the numbers correctly here, but I'm trying to see what the top 10 is.
Well, you look that up. What I love is when Sataki talks to his men, and it's sort of like call and response. He's like asks a question, and you just hear the group collectively, like, yes, sir. I mean, it's just
because you know if they say no, wrestle me. Are you getting in an octagon with him?
With that man? No. No,
chance.
I mean, yeah, but you know what I'll do? I'll just go to aisle 9 and get a ball-peen hammer and start swinging wildly. Or I'll go get a bandsaw. I'll get my tool belt. I keep looking at myself and wondering if people are stumbling in.
You have a hat on.
I sure do.
I begged you for 15 years just to put a hat on when you occasionally have to go through A6. You get through so much faster.
Yeah, because
people are like, is that
guy?
No he's that tall?
No,
there's no way
he's
that skinny. There's no way he wears a hat. No, that wasn't him.
He manages Stroh-Snyder.
5 gates by.
He's the Stroh-Snyder guy. That's who that is.
He's got a tool belt on.
I'm just telling you. I'm warning you. As much as we're going to laud BYU for this one, just Lubbock's its own flavor and nightmare. When you stroll into Cincinnati, that group is playing at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
High level. Can you pull up a box score for me on that real quick? Because Baylor got it to within 7, needed a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Needed a stop. There was no stop to be had because what's my numbers on my man Sorsby? What do you go for? He didn't throw.
Not much.
I'm surprised. It was
efficient. It was. He's efficient.
Yeah, but it was weird. There were turnovers and short fields, and Baylor kept screwing up and gift wrapping things. You don't need against a team that's that capable to gift wrap them short fields and the like. A couple of touchdown passes. He ran for one. Felt like he ran for more than 85, but he was Sorsby was their leading rusher as well. That's a fun league. There's some talent at the top. BYU hadn't lost. Cincinnati only has the one loss. That was game 1, week 1 or week 0, whatever, against Nebraska. And of course, Texas
at Arrowhead.
Of course, Texas Tech is going to welcome BYU to Lubbock in a bit. So that's
like Cincinnati's got to go to Utah.
We'll have fun with that.
You know,
although Tech went in there earlier this year and smashed.
They're up 80-0 at halftime.
Colorado's on the struggle bus. It's 43-0. Utah at the half. I'm ping-ponging around as I do off the card.
Bama.
They're certainly on here. Listless. These are the words I have written down, Steve. Listless.
Was it?
South Carolina, Josh Pate dubbed it Cocktober. I thought they'd get somebody here. I thought it might be Oklahoma last week. Certainly you have an opportunity here with Alabama coming in. They get a pick 6 that's gift-wrapped. Alabama has done nothing on offense, and South Carolina just trying to throw a little pass to the back, and it just pops up in the air. Bama takes it in at 7-0. And South Carolina is largely, they're containing Simpson. He's not doing much.
Mm-hmm.
And then, lo and behold, South Carolina's got the lead. Then there's a fumble, and then Sellers takes it in, and now it's an 8-point lead. And Bama at that point has rushed for nothing. They need a score and a 2-point conversion in the late going. What we talked about last week with Georgia. Championship DNA.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it on a drive they had to have.
Yep.
And not just a drive you had to have, but as you're going down there, if you get into any short yardage, let's not use our best play because a score's great, but it means nothing if we don't get the 2. And they run such a cool design because it's a version of Philly special where you get everybody thinking you're coming back the other way, and it's a fake toss to the man in motion, and they hit their tight end to tie it. And then, unfortunately for Sellers, who fights his ass off for South Carolina, he fumbles. And then it was Jeremy on both the touchdowns to tie and the touchdown where South Carolina let them score because the only way they could win is if they could get the ball back, which opened the door for potential cataclysmic backdoor that didn't happen. And Bama gets out of 5 points with the dub. Pretty? No. Doesn't make any difference. They had to figure out a way, and they did.
Yeah, it was a weird game. We talked about it a bunch because Nick talked about today when in 2010 what he thought, or 2010, he had McElroy, he had Julio, he had his whole squad, and Steven Garcia that day with Alshon Jeffrey and Lattimore were unbelievable. They made every single play possible, and he's like, this is the definition of a trap game. And I'm sitting there looking all week, and I mentioned I watched Oklahoma against South Carolina last week on tape, and I'm like, it's not getting to get out of double digits. It's not. In like, I think it opened at like 13.5, went down to 11, went off at 11.5, whatever. And I'm watching South Carolina. I'm like, how are they going to do this? How are they going to do this? And what you need to be absolutely relentless and fearless on the defensive line against Alabama. They're totally more talented than you, but you got to have the wherewithal to keep coming at them. Vandy had a little bit of that when they came to Tuscaloosa, but Ty ended up making some better decisions, and obviously the turnovers hurt Vanderbilt. But South Carolina kept coming, and I'm not saying they have as many NFL guys as Alabama does, but they got some. And when they wanted to, they got after it today. And I guess that let you score thing looks way worse because my whole thing now with defensive backs and safeties and anyone on the edge and perimeter, no one dives anymore. And you could see the kid pull his hands up and let Bernard score. But Grubb in the play calls, like you talk about always having one in the pocket.
You better.
Because you know you're going to need it.
Yep.
And listen, bud, I've been there in Special Cat on Thursdays back in the day, and we got two-point play, and we run 3 of them. Nowadays, you got to have like 7 because you're going for it on 4th and 1 on like the minus 45 every time. I mean, Oklahoma and Ole Miss today, both teams just kept doing it. The game I was at, Missouri, kept going, and you factor in inexperience of field goal kickers and all this stuff. It's times 5 now. 2-point plays you got to have.
Well, Bama never got to theirs because they really didn't do a lot most of the game. I couldn't have more praise for the way South Carolina battled on defense.
Yeah.
Bama, I don't know what the numbers were prior to that long touchdown drive, but I want to say in the middle of the fourth, they had like 15 rushing yards. I mean, they ran for 72 yards in the game, and 25 of them were on that touchdown at the end. So, I mean, they didn't do much. And
out of a wide receiver wildcat formation. Grubb's good, man. He's really, really good.
Well, the 2-point conversion was because I'm watching with my boys.
Yeah, it was dirty.
By the way, if you play
that one in the flag. If
you play the Steelers or if you play the Falcons,
that in,
buckle up because they hung numbers today. All right, I'm just telling you.
We make some transactions. We got some additions.
I think our one coach was in the portal because most teams you got this guy over here. He's got some older brothers. He's wearing gloves and has his feet spatted up, and he's making moves. All right, then
we'll take him.
Now Jeremy over here is just he's looking at the trees. It's like he can't do it. Danny over here, he's a sweet kid, but he cannot catch the football. Most teams are, some version of that. It's like life. Some people are really good, some people are decent, some people can't quite do it. The Falcons are an outfit. Okay. And it appears that the Steelers might be
Kirk Cousins quarterback in this Falcons team.
No, this is the youngsters. And apparently, my understanding was that there's a youngster named Max that's the guy, and they didn't have Max. If this is the second string, everybody's playing for second. I said it.
Championship.
I said it. I'm out here writing checks rather that they got to cash. That's all right. You come on by Strohsnyder's. We'll give you we'll give you credit. You wander down in the back. Oh, the lighting section. It's right here. It's the LED lights. Do you want the warm light or do you? I don't like the LEDs.
What if somebody came up to you or like, can you install them?
Nah, you got to have a guy. Come on. What I tell you, my dad said, Buzz, you either got to be the guy or have a guy. I got a guy. Well, I'll find a guy who can help you out with I can do the light bulb part, but if you got to start doing some wiring, buddy, we already had one house fire. I'm not trying to mess anything up. Get out of Columbia with a win. That's what they had to figure out how to do. Hey, in that similar vein, I don't know how the hell they did it, and I was prepared to come on here and say, I tried to tell you Texas isn't any good. They won. Why do people kick the ball to Ryan Niblett at this point? I wouldn't. But Mississippi State did. God love them. They beat Arizona State early this year, and we've lauded them because it's a big turnaround from being awful and not being competitive. But that's a game you gotta fucking win, man. You just gotta. When you're them, this is something. Talk about a check that you put in the bank, Steve. You beat Texas. And by the way, don't just beat them. They're up 17 on them in the fourth. You beat them emphatically. And that's a sign. It's not the same old cowbell. Foo Fighters. It's not the same. I got to give Texas all the credit again in the world. We're handing out credit, by the way. A lot of credit being handed out. They stayed in the fight. They get a punt. They return it. They get to overtime. This is 2 weeks in a row against Kentucky and Mississippi State. You need overtime. And they're going to be ranked again. And I'm sure. But, are they good? Not really. Not like these other teams we're talking about. But they won. So I don't want to be over here shitting on them because they won. They won. But I'm more heartbroken for Mississippi State because of what that would represent to them as opposed to being able to fully invest in the giving of the credit, if that makes any sense.
You remember Brad Edwards?
Of course.
One of the best brains I've ever worked with in my life.
Didn't he get banned from betting the women's tournament in Vegas because he won
No. He knew somebody.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't him.
He did. No.
Take his action.
No.
He knew a guy. Go ahead.
He's still the best brain I've ever been around. And he hacked the BCS because he knew it was going to have to happen for teams to get in. That's how smart he was. If you go back and look it up, there's plenty of documentation. But he would always have a saying, and this all I thought of today during the fourth quarter was
don't say it.
Brad saying it.
Don't
today.
say it. It's so mean. Go ahead.
This is why you're Mississippi State.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
And it's just it always happens. And to go back on him, he would say the same thing about Ole Miss, and Ole Miss bucked the trend today. But when I watch Mississippi State all week, I'm like, they are 7.5 points. They are so the pick this week. And I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at it all week. And I'm like, Baxter's back. Wisner's back. Sark's, he hasn't been the head coach in Starkville, but he's had to go to Starkville with Saban. It's one of the worst places to have to go, especially when you're Alabama. So he knows about the bullseye. And then you factor in, they haven't played a home game, I think, since UTEP. Like, they go to Gainesville, get run, I think, bye week, Red River, go to Lexington and Starkville back-to-back. That is with all this Texas shine and glamour and glitz or whatever you want to say, that's your welcome to the SEC 14 days. Go to Lexington and absolutely have to put knuckles on the turf and gut one out in overtime, and back that up with having to go to Starkville and you have to go to overtime both times. Listen,
cry me a river. If you're Mississippi State, you lost in overtime to Tennessee on that field. You lost to Florida when you're in field goal range and a big man caught the ball in his face mask that you could have beat them. And they fired their coach anyway, and you're up 17 on the field against Texas. You're calling about Sark and no home games? They got more money than God. They get to go back to Austin, and they won. Mississippi State sitting there going, we're in Starkville. We had these guys beat, and we lost. And Steve's over here. He feels bad for Sark because of home games. Shut up.
I'm saying
this is amazing.
It's a feel-good thing.
What? Texas beat Mississippi State?
Yeah, because you were absolutely gutted on the verge of absolutely being disgraced.
Well, bully for plucky old Texas somehow pulling themselves up by the bootstraps to get in their fucking Ferrari and get out of Dodge. You got to be kidding me.
Here we go.
What?
You don't want Texas ranked.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they're not. They're just not that good.
They're going to be ranked.
Of course they are. They're already ranked and they won. So they'll stay there. It's just they beat Kentucky and Mississippi State in overtime and they were lucky to win both.
But they won.
I understand. And you want to say, what a great job for no home games. For Texas, it's got the gross natural product of whatever at their disposal. Jesus Christ, they're supposed to be good. What?
You got a Stroh-Snyder's hat on and a vest, and I'm arguing with you about Texas being. I just want them in the top 20.
Of course, and they will be. They will. By the way, I looked it up. Matthew Caldwell threw the touchdown pass because Arch unfortunately took a rough hit and was wobbly. I hope he's okay. Mm-hmm. And Emmett Mosley's second touchdown catch of the day, and it was the all-time. In the old days, when the ball hits your fingertips, you have to pull it in and then you have possession. Now his left foot is on the ground for a split second. The ball is on his fingertips.
It's touching his hand.
And that's
not a catch.
Yeah, but you're happy because God, those upstarts from Texas pulled themselves up by their fucking cashmere bootstraps. Wait a minute. Listen to this. Caldwell's started at Jacksonville State, Gardner Webb, Troy. Yep. That's the most important touchdown of his life. And all credit to Texas for fighting their way out and winning a game. It looked like they absolutely were going to lose. I just feel so bad because Mississippi State's the team that you could say that about. They were horrible. They were 0-for last year, and now here they are, and they've lost excruciating games to bookend this 4-game losing streak at home against Tennessee, where they had the lead, and then Texas, where they had the lead. And, anyway, I'm sorry. I got a little wound up.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. No, this
is that a catch, by the way? Is that a catch in your mind? Because I take Texas out of the equation.
Did you see the Pavia interception fumble recovered back by Vanderbilt?
Yes.
Did you see that play?
Yes.
Did you think that was a fumble on the interception?
That's a different conversation to me of like possession and then fumble versus ball on the fingertips, and you could freeze it and you see that. That to me just is not. Go ahead. What are you asking me?
But what I'm saying is, whatever it was ruled, it was not getting overturned.
Exactly. You weren't going to see something different. Like at the end of the game where Missouri strips the ball out and they ruled it fumble on the field, I thought you could clearly see. I thought he was clearly down before they.
Correct.
Totally that was clear that he's down. And Missouri's doing what they ought to do. Try to rip it out. Just like Alabama did late against Sellers. Pull on the football.
Oh, God. I talk with Russell, the Monday Night Rules guy. Tomorrow, I'll talk to him all day. I can't wait to bring these plays up to him. Because this idea, and I'm an offensive guy, and I think always the benefit to a catch, you can't rule that Texas one a catch.
It's just possessions when you have the ball, not the second that it's touching your hand.
Thank you, Stroh-Schneiders. We agree.
Lou's in the back. He fixed your lawnmower. Ain't no gas in it. All right, Dan. Go ahead. That's Sling Blade.
To your point.
You ever see Sling Blade?
I reckon.
It ain't got no gas in it.
You got the lip and everything.
All right, Dan. You reckon you make me some biscuits?
That's Landman. I can't get over it.
All right, Dan.
But no, going back to your point, why are they going to punt it to Texas? Punt return for a touchdown, Red River. Punt return last week, Kentucky turns the game around. Punt return touchdown, down 7, 2 minutes, 4 seconds in Starkville. Shout out my man Jeff Banks, best special teams coach in the country. Why do people keep challenging my man?
Brian Niblett. Send him to New York.
Whew.
Seriously. Guys,
unbelievable.
Who's had more impactful singular plays than him?
I got a couple questions.
I wrote down a bunch of stuff, by the way. We got to get. I got some stuff in the ACC because all I have is confusion.
Ooh.
I have confusion there.
Shout out Coach Dickert at Wake Forest. How about that win? Absolutely crushing blow to one of our favorite people in the world.
The Big Rig?
Yes.
Yeah, Big Rig. Sorry, Rig.
His ponies let him down.
Wake Forest had that. They turned it over like 5 times inside the 5. It's the only game I won, by the way.
Oh.
So I gave out that angry Muppet. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Go, Deeks. They got there.
I have a question.
Go. Question.
If you had eyes on the noon games. How the hell did Auburn win?
Fourth quarter, they switched out quarterbacks. That's on the list. I think I wrote it down.
Ashton Daniels?
Yeah. Swapped it out.
You know who made the catch for Texas?
Mosley.
You know where he went to school last year?
Where? The Plains?
Stanford.
Oh, he's a Stanford guy?
Yeah, you know where Ashton Daniels threw touchdown passes to Mosley last year?
The Farm.
Yeah.
You guys got 3 wins. You're sitting in here in August bitching and moaning you weren't going to win any games.
Oh,
you got 3.
Bullshit. We got a comment about tonight.
What, 7-0?
Oh, calling timeouts to.
Well, that was disgusting.
Yeah.
Little touchdown.
Trying to tell me that old Oregon Stanford game when the coach might have screwed that one up back in the day didn't have anything to do with this one. You're going to put it on these poor kids. Same head coach. Oregon, Miami.
Anyone that had under or had Stanford, that was a rough one on the last.
Disgusting.
Came back from timeout, and I'm like, are they taking a knee? No, they're running the cover play. Oh, no. Yes, they are.
They were going to run another one, too, if they didn't get in.
I'm well aware. That was clear. They were still running ball plays. Auburn switched quarterbacks. Everybody and their mother had Hugh Freeze fired, and they won. So Daniels didn't have a touchdown, but came on in relief for Arnold. And they outscored the Hogs 17-0 in the fourth quarter. I have a question in the ACC. Virginia, the last 2 games, beat Washington State by 2 points and beat North Carolina by 1. Carolina went for 2 in overtime, just missed it. shin, booty, something just down shy of the line. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, is 8-0, haven't lost a game. I want to give Haynes King love. 5 touchdowns responsible for against Syracuse. Basically had 400 yards running and passing. He does it all for that squad, and he has all year. Their best win, there being Georgia Tech, right now, is what? Clemson? 3-4 Clemson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At Duke? Okay. They're like SMU last year in the sense that they could be in the ACC confusion where they're standing there at the end going, look at us. And we love the coach and love what they're about. All substance, all cake, no icing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just two things can be true at once where you acknowledge that they haven't, like we said with BYU. If there's a 0 on the right, cool. I just want to know who'd you beat? Who'd you beat? And so they've got arguably the biggest Georgia game they've had in ever later this year in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
In between that, though, there's a subtly more frightening game against Pitt that seems to have things cooking lately. Four dubs in a row for Narduzzi's guys.
Henschel.
I'm just asking, can you ask the question about Georgia Tech, who have they beaten, without having it send Tech fans into an outrage? Because I'm not saying you aren't worthy of what you are, which is certainly in the conversation. It's just the ACC is so friggin' confusing of who, what's the path for Charlotte? I don't even know.
Well, today was big because SMU lost. That's their first ACC loss since they've been in the league. Louisville messed around against BC, still got the win. Pitt is the team that
4-1.
believe plays multiple of the teams that have one loss.
See, that's the
Miami
thing
still needs a lot of help.
Right, that's my
to get
point.
in the ACC title game.
That's my point.
To your point, okay, with this undefeated thing, who have you beaten? Do you deserve it? I understand what you're saying, but for the most part, this is going to play itself out in the ACC.
Sort of, because Georgia Tech does not play Virginia. They do not play Louisville. They do not play Miami. So you do play Pitt. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So who has the best win in the conference?
At the moment?
Yeah.
Miami.
Correct. Beating Notre Dame.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Or Louisville does because they beat Miami at Miami.
I'm saying out of conference.
I understand.
But I totally get what you're saying. So for the most part, it's going to get worked out. The issue is the domino effect. If Miami runs the table and doesn't get the help they need in end the season.
2-bid league then. Miami gets in and whoever wins gets in.
And who gets pushed out?
Of what?
You can't put Notre Dame in over Miami.
Well, they both get in.
I don't know.
It's not Halloween yet, which is why I'm sitting here in a Stroh-Snyder's outfit.
And you're stirring.
I'm just saying. I'm asking questions because I have respect and appreciation for Tech. They did beat Wake Forest in a game where there was an offsides miss that would have resulted in a first down and knees that would have been a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to shake that because it was the ACC's horror show of officiating. I mean, there's the transparency with the replay, which I appreciate, but that's just a flat out, you missed an offsides that would have resulted in a first down. This isn't an opinion. This is fact. No timeouts, knees, game over. Angry Muppet, happy Muppet. And what would Wake be with that, by the way? Neither here nor there.
3-1.
Okay. Georgia Tech hasn't lost. Go get him, Haynes King. He's really good.
No, all the credit to them. They're undefeated. They've won every game possible. And like I said, they have Well, we talked about Ole Miss's path getting cleared at Atlanta. Georgia Tech's is even clearer with a possibility of a big nugget on the way to Charlotte
with Georgia.
Their in-state, yeah.
Been a long time
since Friday.
Been a long time since that game has carried as much weight as that potentially does.
While we're talking ACC,
sure.
I want to bring up one of the greatest head coaches of all time, and I absolutely love that Bill Belichick went for 2 in the first overtime. It's the right move to do. You have to go for 2 the next time anyway. Go for it now.
One play to win the game.
One. Go for it, man. And I got to go back and watch it. I don't think they were. He's a lefty, and everything was going right. I don't know if it was delay or whatever, but it was the right decision. Last night, Cal and Virginia Tech, I'm like, just go for 2 here. Go for 2. And they ended up winning. And then it happened last week also on a weeknight game. But if you're the second team and you're down 7 and you score,
go for 2 right there.
You're with me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially if you're them.
Yeah, I just to our conversation earlier, you got it in the bag.
Meaning your best 2-point play.
Yeah.
Run it now and try to win the game. Speaking of trying to win the game, you guys were very nearly. You were in a big music town in the South. Could have been in Memphis. Could have been Beale Street. How about 17 unanswered after losing to UAB? A baffling L. Memphis gets off the deck, beats South Florida. They survive a Grammatica 50-something yarder.
52.
Yeah, there was a hold on the play before. They took a shot. It was wild. You had 10 seconds, and I'm thinking, what do? Obviously, you're trying to take a shot. I get it. But Memphis brought pressure, and there was a clear-as-day hold, and all of a sudden the field goals to tie is 52, and it hooks left. And so Memphis gets the dub, and their odds to be the team, the party crasher, increase. They're not overwhelming odds, but they become the favorite amongst the group to make it. Do they not? Do I have that right?
Yeah, they're at over 27% now.
That was something like that. But that was one that I lost. It lost its privilege for a bit because I thought South Florida had it, and then next thing you know, whoa, what do we have here? Silverfield's guys are back. They're ahead.
That freaking guy could coach, man.
Yeah,
man. Hell of a job.
As you
said, I don't know how the hell last week happens, but I wanted to say he didn't have his quarterback to start.
No, they played 2.
Came in and played.
They played 2, but they respond with a gigantic victory, and that's the cradle. That's the conference where we see people. Summerall's probably gonna. I mean, his phone's gonna ring without question.
Oh, easy. Let me ring his phone.
I'm just saying you could let Steve answer the calls. You're gonna have people on hold for him.
I'll just say this about these group of 5.
Okay, I'm listening.
Don't forget about the Dukes. They have a 14-point loss at Louisville in a game they were leading in the second half. They can run the table.
It was the Dukes. The Dukes.
Really, really like that team.
Bob
Chesney, Holy Cross, dude. Worcester.
Dude, out by Groton.
Not even close.
Big Ten Scotty says about the Washington Huskies, rank them. Rank them. They knocked off 23rd ranked Fighting Illini.
Really happy that happened because we were sitting on the cusp of having a 10-2 Illinois team that possibly was worthy of playoff. I don't see that with how they got run against.
They lost 1,000,000 to 10 to Indiana.
Yeah, and
Ohio State put it on them in their place.
Or maybe scored one touchdown against. Like that was going to be a horrible argument to have. They're not worthy of the playoff.
Well, they lost to Washington. Williams had 4 touchdown passes. Rank them.
Good man. Like that Williams kid.
Rank them. Tip of the cap, Emaw. Imagine a rivalry game where you've won 17 straight. And I thought it set up. Kansas was favored.
Yeah, 3.5. I thought about them because I was like, why are they giving 3.5?
Thank you. And this Kansas State team, of course, we know it started in Ireland and things went wrong. They have, the reason we say it, it's not cliche. It's a cliche for a reason. Stay in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
They've done that, and they get a emphatic victory over their in-state rival, 17 straight in the Sunflower Showdown, whatever the hell it's called. Sorry.
Sunflower State Showdown?
Something.
Right?
Sunflower thing. There you go. It's the Sunflower
Sunday.
thing.
Mix in a Sunday, too.
Speaking of emphatic, there was some conversation that you guys have been to South Dakota State for an epic show. The Bison and the Jackrabbits. North Dakota State 38-7. Jumped them early and left no doubt of who the boss is in that lane.
Yeah, I know Thamel was trying to work on it. I had it as
work on what?
North Dakota State was a 4.5-point favorite at the time of our show, but there was uncertainty about the South Dakota State quarterback.
I see.
That ended up moving to 7, which was not a factor because the Bison went in and gave them an absolute dose. And I thought that was interesting that they were already favored, knowing that the game was at South Dakota State. So that's a big. Trey Lance's brother, Bryce Lance, is the receiver there. He's an NFL player, and had 26 catches, 4 touchdowns, over 400 and something yards already this year. I wanted to see what he did tonight, but he's an NFL player, and the Bison proved their worth. Worth. I have a scenario for you.
All right, hold on.
It's one of your all-time favorites.
All right, hold on. I'm taking my hat off.
You gonna take your hat off?
Yeah.
I won't even recognize you.
The store's closed. I'm gonna hang it right here though on the mic stand. I'm gonna keep my badge on though in case anybody needs me. Go ahead. Scenario. So what's
by the way,
scenario?
Bryce Lance had 5 for 103 in that game.
Have some. Bison over Jackrabbits. Go.
When you think about fight songs and fraternities, what's your favorite video?
Oh, that's the Fidelts in Nashville. And my man in the green boot jumping. Don't tell me you didn't meet him.
No.
Are you going to party with him now? Come on.
No. I'm just.
They beat Tennessee on the way out of town. The Fidelts were trolling the Tennessee people playing Rocky Top, and it's
Nope.
Go ahead.
Even better.
What?
Those two teams can possibly meet for a right to go to the playoff.
Where?
Knoxville.
Buckle up.
Can you imagine that scene?
No, because it's never meant that. And that
Correct.
Tennessee team, they can hang big numbers, but they're going to give up a bunch. I mean, they made Kentucky look like a decent offense tonight. They scored, what, they scored 60? What did they end up winning that game?
I think they got stopped at
56-34, but Kentucky didn't score 34 a whole lot in the SEC. But they hang big numbers. So you're telling me that's potentially a spot?
Well, I mean, as we get later, the possibilities start to dwindle, and that one just seems to.
I got you.
Think about that.
Doesn't Vanderbilt have to go to Texas next week?
And you're going to have Texas.
Because they're going to be laying a big number. Well, then you know what you should do? You should take Vanderbilt for internal organs because
I need to text Sark and get you some hook'em gear.
Again, you have it all wrong. I'm not anti them.
You don't think they're good?
You
really don't think they're a top 20 team? That's all I'm saying.
They were down by 17 points in the fourth quarter to Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm. You can't do the score thing. You just did it with Arizona State and Houston.
I'm just telling you, when I watch them, they're Texas. So I keep thinking they're going to look like Texas, where they just look demonstrably better than the opposition. Now, we've clearly seen in this small little window of NIL and all the rest that Indiana and Vanderbilt are favorites to be included in the playoffs. So it's bizarro world. Those teams were punchlines for years. So maybe what I just need to do is acknowledge that the gap between them and others has shrunk, and you're not just going to go out and bully people. But then I watched Indiana go out and beat the absolute brakes off people. Ohio State go out and obliterate people. And I don't think that Kentucky, who Tennessee rolls tonight, is a team you should be struggling to score 20 against and go to overtime. So I don't think that I'm being... Last week your point was they're the most scrutinized team. And I thought, you know what, that's a keen observation. And so all they needed to do today was win, and they did. So sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
What did they do week one?
They lost to Ohio State.
The best team in the country.
Yep. I think Sayan looks massively better. Arch, before he got injured today, was Sayan doesn't look different to you now? Sayan's taking steps forward.
Okay.
Listen, Texas, they're Texas, so keep winning games, and it's fine.
Here's the other thing.
Please just don't try to sell me on some... It's so hard to go to Starkville when you're Texas.
That is I don't care who you are. You want to go to Lexington and go to Starkville 2 straight weeks. Let me know how you do.
Mississippi just went to Athens and Norman.
They went 1-1.
Right, because they had to play Georgia and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Not Kentucky and Mississippi State.
Okay, here's another one.
What are you even doing?
I'm just saying it's a lot. All right, let me go to West Lafayette and Champaign. How am I going to do?
I understand. You could make that sure. It's hard to go on the road in that league.
That's all I'm saying.
But they're Texas.
Yeah, what's Texas done? They went to the playoff the last 2 years. Good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look at what Ohio State did when they went on the road. They go on the road to Seattle. They go to Champaign and like jump them. I'm just saying when you're thought to be like that, I just want to see you beat somebody in a way where you look convincing. And I'm not wondering, holy shit, are you going to lose to overtime to Kentucky?
Okay. Here's a score. I think that's only going to get
Am I crazy?
Worse. No.
Okay. I don't
know. I just like giving credit for wins.
As am I.
Michigan is going to keep going like this, and Oklahoma is going to keep going like this.
Yeah.
And I was there. There was no doubt who the better football team was that night when they played. That's a score that is going to be...
Michigan State's coach seems to know the number, make sure that his guys fight for 60. Late Tutter there. Play the fight song, go green, go white.
Did they cover, or that was just for the over?
I believe that got him to the winner's circle. At least,
my God.
If you had winners. I believe, weren't they getting a dozen?
Oh, they were getting more.
13? Well, that touchdown was significant to some.
Oh, my.
Signed up for 60.
Whew.
Credit to them for that. Well, true fresh quarterbacks gets better over time. I understand what you're saying. I mean, at some point, the win that they got will be brought up. I mean, if we're making comparative judgments, one versus the other, we have the same record at the moment, and you beat them.
Michigan runs the table and beats Ohio State. They get in the playoff?
2-loss Michigan.
I think they got it.
I mean, they're going to beat Purdue, Northwestern, Maryland, and then Ohio State in Ann Arbor.
Is that at the snake pit?
Yeah, students aren't there, though, so there won't be as many snakes in the pit. You gotta fight. Gotta be careful down there. Yeah. I don't know. Sure, why not? What else you got on the card?
I met Dennis Gates, Missouri basketball head coach. Big fan. Love what he's about. Somehow, some way, he told me they are playing at Howard.
Okay, come on by the studio.
And I told him that, and then I looked it up.
Regular season?
Yeah, like next week, but it's November. Where are we next week for Monday night? Is that Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing that night. So I will cross it off the list. No, I just want to say Missouri's awesome. They travel like no other. Got to go see Drinking the Staff at the hotel. What night is it? Friday night. And I feel brutal for them, man. That Pribula thing was disgusting in person. That's a tough one to come back on. But those guys they got, Trotter, Young, Newsom, I appreciate guys that love contact. And it was awesome to watch them in person.
Red has just come out and knocked the water bottle off the table, which is basically his way of saying we've had
one
enough.
more question for you.
By all means. I apologize.
NFL
in
Sunday
advance for the volume of him eating this bottle. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
Go ahead.
NFL Sunday.
Yeah.
Lamar's not playing?
Apparently not.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Is that fishy or no?
Well, the reason on the heels of this gambling, the poker bit, and the news that seems kind of loud to me with the bottle. Hey, Red. Here you go, Red. There you go, Red. Off he goes. He's fleeing the interview. You can do whatever he wants in the back. He was listed as a full participant. Then they went back after the fact and said, oh, no, actually, he was a limited participant. So it's like, when it comes to, if people were waiting to find out, is he a full go, and then they fire on Baltimore, and then you find out, no, it's going to be Snoop, well, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Although now, with these books, guys get hurt and they void all your wagers. I'm just trying to remember back in the day, if I had a guy get hurt, if I called my guy and go, hey, listen, I had size on somebody and the guy got hurt, he'd be like, yeah, I'll see you Tuesday. Yeah, but I wouldn't have to settle if that. Yeah, right. I'll see you Tuesday. What is this? This charity nonsense that happens. Oh, he got hurt. I didn't win my bet. That's such tough shit. That's how it goes, man. But I don't know. I mean, I've seen it suggested that maybe Baltimore's trying to push him to go, and he's not. I mean, that's concerning. If that's the case, look, I had them pegged as they're gonna be fine. They're gonna make the playoff. That was me.
Okay.
I don't know
I'm parachuting in, and I
don't know if they're fine.
I was at the airport Thursday. He practiced, and then I'm
full go Friday. Oh no, not full go.
Yeah.
Not playing. So that
was.
Looking forward to that 1 o'clock window.
Oh, who do we? Oh no, yeah, we got a big one. I'm waiting on.
Jets, Bengals, Dolphins, Falcons, Browns, Patriots. There you go. Gents, Eagles, Bills, Panthers. Panthers are 4-3, winning record. Bears, Ravens. Texans, Niners. Yeah. How many? We only got like 3 in the 4 o'clock window. Is that accurate? Yeah, because it's all these buys. So
we got Tua versus Cousins.
You like that? You like that? I can't even yell it. Can't do it. There you go. All right. We got to bring in all the snowblowers from out front and close up shop.
Put the hat back on. Come on.
All right, here we go. You want to see the acetylene torches? We got some acetylene torches in the back.
You got generators?
I got. What kind you want? You want gas? You want to? I can hook you up.
You got diesel?
Hell yeah. We got tiki torches and scented candles as well. I think everything I just said, I'm pretty sure you can get right down the street. I'm 1,000% going to strap this on and this is my thanks to my guy Alex for
and for all those people that say you're never early on anything.
Let us be among the first. A happy All Saints Eve. We'll be right back. Tuesday. Right? Wait. We're late back Tuesday. So what? So Tuesday at some point? ASP at some point? Accurate?
What if I find a casino in Kansas City and we could be even later?
Are they going to extend credit? I'm not doing like withdrawals and running back and forth with the ATM. There'll be none of that. No, we're coming home.
How's the weather? Kansas City, good?
There's concerns about wet front, Steve, but early concern about that have been quelled. It seems that maybe cloudy, chance of a shower, but not bad. Look
like he got pushed.
Maybe
through Norman, through Baton Rouge that way.
I'm not.
We're all right.
I'm not familiar. You think there's any? You think the folks in BR pull one? Rally the troops and say we want new leadership.
I'll say it again. Who are you getting?
That was the question in the text thread that I had this evening. I'm like, listen, somebody new isn't the right answer if they're not better than who you have. But
yeah,
if their argument would be, we have 3 losses already, and Bama's out of the bye, isn't it?
Yeah,
and they're not going to be better. They're not going to miraculously have a good O-line.
No, they'll have Weeks back at least.
That helps. That's a huge emotional component on defense. I get it, but your quarterback. Think about this summer when we talked about Klubnik and Nussmeier, the incumbents. Meanwhile, we got Trinidad, who I had no idea was going to play for Ole Miss, who's on our short list of guys that we're praising tonight.
And that's the best thing of Lane and Charlie Weiss Jr. is hearing that today. Like, not only did we get the quarterback from Ferris State, we got some of that playbook too. Like, that's how crazy these guys are. Like, just trying to add on all the time.
Hey, listen, when we were at the Pro Bowl and we watched the girls with the flag play,
Unstoppable.
Run it. I don't care where a great idea in life comes from. Makes no difference the origin of a great idea. And I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about in anything. The origin of a great idea is irrelevant if it's a great idea. So good for them for asking this guy, hey, what'd you run that worked? What'd you like? In this down and distance, what do you like? What's your sweet spot? All right, cool, let's run it. We probably got a few better guys than you had at Ferris State.
You need a fake Christmas tree at Snow Snyder's?
I don't think they're out yet.
Hell yeah, they are.
There were ads last week for Christmas on television. I love it more than anyone. That is a crime.
This is a sad couple weeks right here.
It's an outrage. What?
Halloween, right to Christmas, and we forget about the best holiday.
Not me. Not me and you. Bring it on. That Friday Georgia Tech game when you get Thanksgiving part,
you got to work, though.
Part 2?
You got to work.
Who?
You got to work aisle 1.
Oh, no, we're closed for that. We're closed. But then we come out gangbusters. Actually, we're probably open Friday. And the what am I? Pet lighting and pet supplies. I would be. All right, we're done. We've completely lost the plot. I'm role playing as a Stroh Snyder's lighting and pet supplies guy. Yeah. All right.
We're on to Kansas City.
We'll see you at some point Tuesday. As we speak, it's 46-0 Utah as they play the 4th. Colorado not going to get there tonight. I have the Utes penciled in to be 6-2 as they welcome who? Cincinnati? Is that accurate?
Who? Utah. Yeah.
That's a good football. Where are you guys? Have you announced?
We don't know yet.
You're not allowed to mention possibilities, right? Like that's probably like.
Well, there was a possibility, and they lost 13-12 to Wake Forest today.
Oh, so Smoo was on the list.
It was on the list for the rig.
Can I ask a hypothetical?
Yeah.
It's just.
I don't know if I can answer it, but yeah, go ahead.
Just to hurt me. Maryland had leads in the 4th quarter against Washington, Nebraska,
no doubt,
and UCLA.
No doubt.
If Maryland held
no doubt
2 of those leads and was 6-1, game day would be there, wouldn't they? 6-1 Maryland and ranked against whatever Indiana. A chance to check that.
Even worse, I think, if you beat UCLA.
No. 5-2, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I'd be there nude, just on the quad.
No, you got to work aisle 1.
I'll call out sick. Oh, come on, 5-2, you think would have been enough?
Look at the slate.
Oh, my God.
It's wretched.
Oh, boy. That would have been a lot of fun. Although, they're scary, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mess around.
No, they do not.
They just steamroll people. That's what ranked teams do. They beat you bad, see? And they'll wait until overtime to have a lead. That's all I'm saying. All right, we got a big sale promotion coming tomorrow, so I need to go set some stuff up in the back to get ready.
Restock the shelves.
Yep.
Aisle 6. Candles.
Have a happy Halloween.
Go to bed.
All right. Hey, we got more flag tomorrow. We had a double header.
It never ends.
No, we had a double header today.
There's Big Ben again.
We spent hours just sitting in it. That's all right. Had a hell of a day. Hope all y'all did as well. Thanks for being here with us. If you're watching, if you're listening, whatever the case, Tuesday, ASP, at some point, we'll be back. And Stroh Snyder's for all your lighting and pet supplies needs. I'm your guy.